Hey, what's up everyone, it's xScarlife here, and today I would like to take a moment to talk about Shadowlands Gathering. Now, to be more specific, I would like to give you a complete overview where most herbs and ores can be found in the different zones. Let's say that it is your first time entering the Shadowlands and you want to get started with gathering straight away, but you have no clue where to get started. Well, first of all, you will need to talk to the Herbalism or mining trainer in your main city of Shadowlands called Oribos. Now, when you are inside Oribos, you can find the trainers located in the Hall of Shapes over here onto the map. Once you have learned Shadowlands Herbalism or Mining, it's time to get started. Your first leveling zone will be Bastion, and this is a very beautiful and bright zone to level, and it is really one of my favorite zones for gathering in Shadowlands. Now, what type of ores or herbs can you find in this zone? Well, in Shadowlands there are in total 6 different types of herbs and 6 different types of ores. Some of them can be found in specific zones and others can be found in all 4 of the zones. So in Bastion you can find the Dead Blossom and also Nightshade. These herbs can be found in all 4 of the zones, and next to these herbs we also have Rising Glory, and this herb can only be found in Bastion. For the ores, we basically have the same story. In Bastion you can find Laestrite Ore, and this ore can also be found in all 4 of the zones in Shadowlands. Next to this one there is also a zone specific ore that you can find, and this one can only be found in Bastion, and this one is called Solenium Ore. I feel that these herbs and ores might drop in price quite quickly because they can be found in the first zone and people might start gathering them fairly quickly, but it should be fine for the first couple of weeks. Now, assuming that you have gathered a lot in the first zone, you may have reached level 50 in your mining. If that is the case, I would recommend going back to the mining trainer in Oribos so you can learn the ore called Elethium Ore, which is a rare ore that can be found in all of the 4 zones. The second zone that you will be entering is called Maldrexus, and this zone might be my least favorite looking zone because everything looks quite dark in here. Now in this zone you can again find the ores and herbs that can be found in all of the 4 zones like I mentioned earlier, but you also have a zone specific herb and ore that can be found in this zone as well. So the herb that can be found in Maldrexus is called Marrowroot, and it can only be found in the zone along with the ore called Oxxein Ore, and this one can also be found all around the map. But soon I will also release my farming routes for each zone, so if you are watching this video when Shadowlands is already released, you might want to take a look at my channel to get your hands on my latest farming routes. Now, with that being said, let's move over to the third zone, and this one is called Ardenweald, and this one is an absolutely beautiful zone to spend your time gathering. The herbs that you can find in this zone are once again the common herbs that can be found in all of the 4 zones, but the zone specific herb that can be found in this one is called Vigil Torch and can mostly be found all over the map. However, I do recommend avoiding the top parts of the map since there you can find some elite mobs taking a walk in the park and they might attack and also stun you, so it's something that you really want to avoid while you are gathering. For the ore, it's also the same story with the common ores, but in this zone there is an ore called Phaedrum Ore, and this one can only be found in Ardenweald. And then we have arrived at the last zone, which is called Ravendreth, and this one is my least favorite looking zone in general, not only because it is very dark, but it also reminds me from back in the days when I started playing WoW for the first time and I accidentally entered Undercity for the first time. I do remember that I was very confused. Well, I basically have the same feeling with this zone again. It is very hard to get used to the zone itself, so it might take a while to get used to it. The herbs that you can find here are of course the Dead Blossom and also Nightshade, because these can also be found in all of the 4 zones like I mentioned earlier, but the zone specific herb that can be found in this one is called Widowbloom. For the ores you can also find once again the Laestrite Ore, and the zone specific ore for this one is called Sinvyr Ore, and the ores as well as the herbs for this zone can only be found at the bottom of the map, because on top of the map itself you have a sort of city and it is full with mobs and you don't find any of the herbs up there, so you might want to avoid that area at all costs. Now when we wrap things up, I have made a complete overview of all the ores and herbs that can be found in all of these zones, since I do think it might come in handy when you are going to enter Shadowlands for the first time. But anyways guys, that's it for this video. Like it if you liked it or dislike if you didn't. Subscribe for more and I'll catch you guys in the next one.